you've got to choose a strategy. And your strategy today has to include social, web, and mobile. You cannot leave any one of these out at all. Google statistics, I'm a member of a marketing partner program, and they send us statistics on results they're seeing. 66% of people that do a mobile search for a business contact the business. That's a pretty good return on investment, isn't it? So if you aren't visible mobile, you've got a challenge. The other thing is you've got to do social. Nielsen, the people that measure what we watch on TV, recently measured that people with Facebook accounts spend an average of 7 hours a month using Facebook. Now, that may not mean much, but in comparison, people that use Google on average 2 hours a month. So when people are on the web, they're on Facebook. And you may know a Facebook addict, you know, in your family or somebody. Maybe you're one yourself too, right? Because you can spend a lot of time. It can become consuming and captivating to spend all that time on a social network. So when people are on the web, they are spending it on social. But you still need a web presence. People still use search and web for a lot of activities. When they're learning about something, when they're exploring something, when they're looking about health insurance, they want to learn what their options are. They do research on the web as they look towards buying a product. When they buy a car, they do research as well. And they want to look into these things. They want to explore them. And the more they narrow down, the more specific they get until they start looking for a person or a contact to buy a quote from or to get something else. But your strategy needs to include all three of these elements. And we'll talk a little bit about what they need to have. For your search marketing strategy, you need to have search engine optimized content. SEO, which is search engine optimization, and you probably get calls from people saying that we can get you on the first page of Google they can do it for a local basis. For national, it's much more difficult. But what you're really trying to accomplish is you're trying to get clicks when people find you on the web. Those clicks convert to page views of your website, and when people visit your page, you've got to convert them through some action. What do you want them to do when they visit your website? If you don't know that, there's no point doing any search engine marketing, because that action, that call to action, is really important. So what search relies on is keywords. Google indexes everything on the web, and they highlight what's going on all over the web. You have to have content in order to have keywords. If you don't have a keyword like health insurance on your website anywhere, then Google's not going to pull up your website ever if people do a search for health insurance. Now, ranking is another issue, but ranking has to do with other types of tools that you can use to accomplish that. You might get involved in pay-per-click advertising. That is through pay-per-click advertising. And then you might have specialized landing pages. Maybe your website is getting traffic, but it's not optimized to convert people into the call to action that you want them to do, to achieve a quote, to sign up for an email list or something like that. The next strategy you might need to deal with is a strategy that has to do with focusing on social marketing. Social marketing is about status updates. Blogs were the original social marketing site, and I'll tell you a little bit how blogs tie into social marketing. But status updates, which means telling people what is going on, broadcasting some informative material, developing some authority about a topic, or just telling people where you're going on vacation, or snapping photos of a graduation ceremony with a family member, is all a status update. Every social media site creates status updates, and they send them out. And what people do is they interact with those status updates. They read them, they view them, they might comment on them. In Facebook, people like things. In Twitter, they follow things or retweet them. In Pinterest, they repin things. In LinkedIn, they might forward or recommend somebody. So all of this has to do with interaction. It's different terminology because each social networking site has a little bit different flavor, but that all results in page views of your presence on a social media site. And these are all called social actions, is that the goal is not necessarily for you to reach people. The goal is for you to get people who you reach to take your message out beyond you. It's word of mouth marketing in the most traditional fashion, only it's electronic and on the web. And you all know about getting referrals, right? You're marketers, you're salespeople, you're in this business. So you have to have content that appeals to your users. You have to have interaction with your audience. If you just have a page that people come visit, there's no point in participating in any social media site because it's interaction that really drives the activity. And all of them have paid advertising. These are money-making businesses that make money, and most of them offer paid advertising. And the result might be increasing your likes, your presence, and you're getting visibility. You're getting exposure across this as well. So let's talk about mobile marketing. You heard a previous speaker mention Yelp and Google Places, other things like that. Mobile marketing is about people using mobile devices, and over 55% of all phones that are sold now are smartphones. That means they have web-capable browsing. Typically Android or iPhone dominate the market because I track market share for my app development class. What people are doing is they're doing mobile search. So they're searching for something when they are using their mobile device. And their mobile device typically knows their location. Anybody use a map on a smartphone, an iPhone, an Android phone? You know you've used location services. Okay, so when you have a mobile search, you have to have a listing on the mobile service that is being used to find things nearby you. Google has maps. Apple just announced at their Worldwide Developer Conference that they are coming out with their own Maps product to replace Google Maps. Google Maps is the data behind the Maps app on the iPhone. And Apple is tied into Yelp. They're going to pull a lot of business listings from Yelp for local services and ratings and reviews. But Apple's also going to integrate Facebook, and Facebook has local listings for businesses. Twitter has local listings for businesses. LinkedIn has local listings. So there's a lot of ways you can be listed locally and a lot of options for pulling up local search. You have to understand how people are using their devices. So you have to have a local presence. You have to have a page place, an optimized page content, and you might do paid advertising, you might not, but you have to also know whether or not your website looks good when it's mobile. If you have not taken it yet, find somebody that has an iPhone and an Android phone and look up your URL from their phone and see what your website looks like. You may be pleasantly surprised and find that it appears perfectly. You may be shocked and find out that you have content that doesn't display adequately. Blogs are one type of website that solves that problem. But again, you're getting people to do a page view, you're getting people to view you in a local listing, and you're getting action from them.